Oh, well, hello there. Good day. Let this be a moment in time where we wait for what is that called? A two stroke? The two stroke to cruise down the street. Did you guys hear that? It's like, I was like, meh. Oh, let's enable the comments. There's the mic. It looks like the microphone is on. So I am here to welcome you, first and foremost, to Stargoat Studios. It is I, your favorite Stargoat, me, Stephen Gray. I know I get a little bit too close to the microphone because I think I need to get really up close to it like this in order for you to hear me. It's like I'm right in your ear. And even though I know you have earbuds on, I still want to be really close to your ear. I want to make sure I have your full and undivided attention. As the title said, jump in, tap in, come on down. I am your friend. You are my friend. And the more we get together, the happier we'll be. And speaking of friends, are you on social media? Clearly. How else are you watching this? Telepathically? Maybe you are. And that's totally fine. Because I transmit brain waves as well. Look at me go. Did you hear that? That was a good one, wasn't it? We can all laugh, all of us that were paying attention to the screen in our minds. So let's talk about IRL, internet etiquette. And when is it appropriate to reach out to somebody that you might feel you are forming a personal bond with? When is that okay? Is that ever okay? Do you ever have that opportunity where you can just, as they say, creep up in their DMs? As a man, no. No. To another man, sure. You can DM another dude, but you probably are not going to get a response unless it is very, very enticing and looks like something that might add value to their lives, right? Isn't that marketing 101? Anytime I look at my email, I'm like, oh, somebody clearly knows what I like. This algorithm has totally got my number. It literally does have your number. There's a number that is associated with each of us, and those numbers in sequence, right? That's how that makes sense, doesn't it? So when I reach out to somebody, I'm asking myself, am I adding value to their life? Am I taking away from their time? A lot of what Elon Musk does, for instance, is zero noise. He has no time for all those extra little chirps and chimes and little tweets. But he makes the time because when you are at that level of understanding, you realize that the community outreach, the networking, the human connection is what makes it worth it. That's what makes us, right? Not sitting behind a screen and, typing all your emotions onto a thing and then walking away. That's your moment of decompression, and you just feel great now because, and everybody else gets to deal with whatever you left them and they can read it later. No, follow through, be active, engage. Why not? There's only so many people in the world and so much time that we have that oh, looks like my good Nigerian friend that I have been working with, networking. I literally was on a phone call this morning with a man in Nigeria, and we are doing business together now. And that is very exciting. International business. Huh. When I was 44, I would have never in a million years thought that future me would be an international businessman reaching out into the direct messaging world. And oh, it's 11:11 here. I need to send a message. And exclamation mark and send. And if you're watching, thank you for watching. And did I complete the introduction, or was this just like a 5-minute long introductory little moment of me saying, yeah, I know my hand. We'll talk about the scooter thing. It is healing. I'm fine. But look, you are here at Stargoat Studios. You are my favorite Stargoat. I know you're waiting for me to say that, but it's true. I do mean that authentically. I do believe, Absolutely, that science has proven. This is all just cooled down stardust. Literal, actual stardust. All the little molecules, atoms, whatever you want to categorize them into their different size units as, stardust. Carbon based stardust. Right now, right here. The absolute greatest of all time. Stargoat, you, me, together. You want to drop some comments? You want to come into this little chat? I got a little something here on my neck. Oh, it's my collar. My collar was tickling me. I was like, what is that back there? I'm like, I'm not wearing one of those back microphone things. Like the microphone right here in front of me. It's like a car. I know everybody in the world that sees somebody with one of these little pop things is like, would you just grab that and drive off the screen? It's like, yes, it's that flexible. It was a $40. Actually, this one I got donated from another artist who is actually currently in the middle of percussion, and they're not using their microphone setup. And I was over there, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm on my way over to the music store. I got to get a little pop screen because I keep doing all these hard S's and things. I spit on the microphone. I spit when I talk. No, I don't." But it reduces a lot of that static, that whatever noise echoing. It does a lot of things. If you saw me before, I was probably just placing my beanie over the top of it. I'm like, that'll work. Make it work. All right. I know the reason everyone actually came here is because I'm wearing an apron. And I have these little Fortnite characters here and a raptor. That's the real reason why we came in today, right? Let's talk about Fortnite and video games and raptors. And well, how about this? What are you going to do if there's no money? Are you still going to be waking up every day and doing exactly what you're doing right now? Don't worry. If you haven't figured out what to do with your life, you're like waking up every day like, why am I going to work every day just to pay bills? This doesn't make any sense. Keep doing that. But stop thinking about the mundane aspect of what you're doing, right? That's just a role that you're fulfilling in the moment. That's just a temporary thing while you're figuring out your purpose. Like, what does drive your happiness, right? Does walking over to the refrigerator after you were sitting on your couch, does that make you happy? At the end of the day, does the place you live in, the car you drive, the people you talk to, are those bringing you value and happiness into your life? That's just I might need to hop off the internet. Give me 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and no, everything looks good. I think this chat is delayed slightly. No, it seems to be working quite pleasantly. Oh, there are some really good spaces on X right now. If you have not seen it, there's I encountered, because I follow a few accounts, and I do have noties on. They're called noties. That's a notification. So you don't have to look it up like I had to look it up. And a notie, I have noties on for some of these large accounts, like the #1 hot dog influencer on Twitter, Brock Pearson. Totally follow Brock Pearson on Twitter if you don't. He's a really good account, and every time I go in, I start listening. He had one on it, I don't know if it was him, it was somebody else was hosting. It was something about frog legs. What frog legs have you eaten in your life? And I know what that actually means, but I went on because somebody was talking about actually eating frog legs, and I was like, sure, I'll play along. I've had kangaroo, I've had crocodile, right? I've eaten snake. I know what those things are about. And as much as I really wanted to like control and direct the conversation, I tried really hard not to. But somehow this other person who was speaking started talking, and it deterred away from Brock Pearson what he was talking about with the actual host and the entire conversation. And that's the problem. That's the frog legs. You know, I'm not afraid to step up behind the microphone, clearly, or in the spotlight. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is over speaking, not letting other people talk, or speaking so eloquently that others are only given the option to listen. I do have that problem. I would much rather give the guidance than let things swerve off into oblivion, right? I'm not going to hand the key. That's not what I'm saying. Let me think of a better way to say this. No, I don't have a better way to say it. I think everyone has the same equal opportunity to speak. But sometimes I need to listen. And I spent a lot of time listening. That's what I was getting at with all these spaces on here. I spend a lot of time listening, and I hear the exchanges and how people interact with one another. And that is one of my biggest flaws. And I know where I get it from, because I want to be sociable. I want to hang out. I want to actually just not know anything, right? They say ignorance is bliss, right? And intelligent people are often alone, alienated, cast out, right? I don't want to be that person. And it's just, as a leader, when you're teaching people how to lead, and for me, a lot of the times, especially the last 15, 20 years, instead of stepping into the spotlight, you step aside and let the people that have been training, not just under me, but under other people, it's their turn to perform. It's their turn in the light, right? That to me is leadership. But full circle back to what I was saying. There are particular subjects that I have absolutely 100% overthought. I have put a lot of energy into behaviorism, systems, psychology, the way it actually is versus the way we create it. And a lot of the frame of mind right now is, well, what about money? What about my bills? I have to work. I have to do this. And it's like, you do, but you really don't. You're just kind of like making that up because you haven't thought of anything else to do, and you just accepted what other people have already thought of, and you just took it. I have always called this life on a silver platter. If you've known me since I was like 14 years old, you've heard me say it. I do. I know where the silver platters are. I'll go get a silver platter all day. Job at a gas station, go to school, become a doctor, a lawyer. Actually, doctor, that might be gold platter. Right? There's different platters. There's a platinum platter out there too. Do you want that one? But the reality is, there is no platter. And once you get that, the platter's yours. Oh, sorry, I didn't actually have to go. I was checking the messages, and it looks like everything's good. Everything's great. Synchronicity. It all falls into alignment exactly the way it's supposed to, exactly when it was supposed to. Attaching yourself to the time or the outcome, that's a human fallacy. That's a bias that we all deal with every day. It's like, my expectations were not met. I'm so disappointed. It's like, no, you aren't. And in fact, you putting on that display of disappointment has now taught me how to respond in the future to other similar situations. Do I choose to be the disappointed one? Do I choose to be the happy one? It is all a choice. Emotion, for the most part. Pain is pain. It is an actual thing. We do understand pain, not just physically, but emotional pain. There's a lot of emotional pain out there that did you hear that deep breath? Did you hear that sigh? Yeah, because emotional pain is really intense. I just got a notification right now from a response that is VIP Importante, and I would like to read it out loud, but I do not have permission, so I'm going to read it to myself. I'm so in love. I wish you only knew. And it's also true that I'm in love with everything and everyone, but just like all of us who should be in that state, when you do find that one person that you are in absolute alignment with, um, there's a lot of questions. Can you maintain that honeymoon phase, that harmony, that excitement? You know, are you always going to get those butterflies? I'm going to tell you, I've been running in circles around one person in particular for like 3 years, and it doesn't really matter. Everybody can say, "Oh, that's not love. That's, you know, you're being used," or uh, whatever. And there's always two sides to it. There's the actual naivety. A lot of men out there in that position, they are being used. They are getting walked over. And you know, if you walk into it with like the hero complex, like you're trying to save the day, or maybe you're the mad scientist. Actually, you are there. You're the manipulator, manipulating the manipulators. That's some wizard talk right there. Because the deep root of it, every relationship, if you sit down and deduce your interaction with anybody, you can have every conversation in your mind, and then you could go live it out. You can plant seeds and generate outcomes, is what I'm saying. Is it ideal? Should you do that? Well, yeah, of course. Like, you're not, like, what are you talking about? Like, how are you going to go into the world with no plan? You know, like right here, like you see any, let's pick somebody. Let's somebody that's not with us anymore. Walter Politis Disney. I love that guy. Perfect example. I'm not going to actually get into a relationship with the guy. I'm straight. He's straight, clearly, right? But the idea is the same. Okay, conceptually, I want to be in alignment with the way he frames his world, that cleanliness, the zero decay. Okay, how do I move into that? How do I adjust where I am now, who I was, to become the person who I want to be, right? A plan. You're going to think that way. You're going to act that way. You're going to talk that way. You are going to be that way. You're going to think it into existence. It started up here. And I've heard this broken down so many different ways. Your reality is exactly what you think it is. Okay. So if I am in a position where, for me, because I've overthought this so much. So a long time ago, before I got into we'll call her the gold digger girlfriend. Before I got into that, I knew the situation, and she had a moment where she thought she would get out of it, but she was already so bonded to that archetype that she couldn't. And for me, feeding my ego, I'm over here like, oh, well, this is perfect. I can sit here and observe without, feeling too much pain. Like, I don't have to like get hurt because of it, because I already understand the personas we are representing, and that we're not going to let go of them. We were both super stubborn that way. We're like, no. We are who we are. There's nothing outside of that. So, oh, I'm gonna sit up straight. Does that mean you're watching? Okay. Well, thank you everyone for stopping by. We have 7 viewers currently, and if you've been in media or out there and doing podcasts, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a lot. Like, for me just to come on and to have 7 people right now, I am so humble. I am so grateful. I'm almost left speechless, but if you've been watching me long enough, I won't shut up. I will say goodbye at least 10 times before I've already told you I'm leaving 10 minutes ago. I was like, I gotta go. We gotta, no. And I'm not doing that. That's not like a bait thing. Like, like to be continued. Oh, till the next show. Oh, here, no. I really do. I am actually wearing an apron for a reason. I am actually doing stuff. On a Sunday, I am working. But back to that. Our choices, what we are choosing, who we are choosing to interact with, and how we are choosing to interact with them. Right. And we know our words, how they carry. All right. So we choose our words. We know exactly what we're going to say and to who and when. So back to Mr. Disney. If I knew I was going to have an interaction, you better believe I'm going to have like 30 different conversations already in my head, questions, and then I'm going to show up and I'm just going to be probably starstruck. I mean, let's be honest, it's Walt Disney. I use that example because it's the same thing with the love of your life. You can plan all you want, but you're ultimately going to be speaking from right here. And when they have their heart toward you and that their heart light, their spotlight is on you, that's in that moment where you're ready to shine. You're going to come through and you're going to say what needs to be said, and your message will be received. I promise you that. The people that need to hear your message are going to hear it at exactly the moment they need to hear it. It is always that way. My entire life, back to my observations about humans and seed planting and becoming in alignment, things like that. Let's not go too far off subject because I will totally get distracted. Not at all. So, yes, this is that moment I was just discussing when you're so deep into thought that you think you know what's real, what's predictable, and then in comes the human variable, right? And you are just overwhelmed with those emotions, right? And then, like, what do you do? What do you do with that attachment? You know, it's like, what if they cut you off? What if they ghost you? Circle back around to my gold digging situation. This is a constant, continuous ghosting situation for months, 6 months. Ghosted one time over trivial something. I wouldn't give her money for rent, or I wouldn't help her with a car payment because I'll get you a cup of coffee. I'll help you get your nails done. Sure. You got something cool in your Amazon store? All right. I feel bad. Not for myself. I feel bad for the people that, or the gold digging community that does these types of things. Like a lot of us dudes out there, like, God, it's like all this glitz and glamour, and this poor person doesn't have the ability to get it. So it's like you jump in and you start buying stuff and you start feeling good and you're feeding your ego and that's feeding their ego. And it's like this huge toxic thing that's going back and forth. And you're like, oh, let's just play the game. It'll make for a great story later. Yeah, I wrote a whole story about it. It's actually really good. But these are more than identity markers. They're defense mechanisms. For me personally, these are personal defense mechanisms that I use to put up that wall, right? Because I won't let anybody inside this wall. A few. I'll take some bricks down. I'll help you get across, but right away, we're gonna go get that little. What do they use in the Mason world? We're gonna go get some scaffolding. That's how high the wall is. We need brick and mortar and a little water, and we're stacking bricks, just like stacking apples at the grocery store. Better believe it. And inside this fortress, we have these deep, deep psychological discussions, but only for like a moment because we got some fun to go have, right? Right? Okay, so in theater, it is true. One of the most important rules is to speak loud enough that the people in the back of the auditorium can hear you. That is, Christopher Lloyd said that in the movie Camp Nowhere. Look at that brain. I have not seen that movie since what, 7th grade? God, that had been like 30 years ago. But that stuck. And do you know why it stuck? Because he meant it. When Christopher Lloyd gets on the camera and he presents and he does that, you're like, oh. So IRL, do the same. Captivate. Use your hands. All right. I so many times I've heard parents, oh, Look at that kid. He just talks with his hands. He just blah, 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 blah. Yeah, talk with your hands. Make little diagrams. Do that. Be yourself. That's what this whole ensemble is about. Us Stargoats here, just being yourself. What's going on in your world today? What are you up to? What have you got going on? I did hear a lot about stuff for donations. I had a few updates about those. But this is really just a pre-video for the 8:30 video. So 8:30. Wow, that's gonna be so late on other parts of the world. 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, yeah, and that's why I keep telling my other cast, Tom and Joe, I'm like, look, guys, we need to be going at 4 in the morning, because 4 in the morning is 5, 6, 7, like 7 in the morning on the East Coast, right? Like we can't be staying up, keeping people up till midnight. We're not the late show, Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon, David Letterman's. You know, that's comedy hour. No, we're coffee power hour over here in the Stargo house. I'm just kidding. I'm randomly throughout the day. Anytime you would like to go live, just say, hey, Steven, you want to go live? And I'll be like, yeah, let me go to my computer over here. I'll send you a link. So if you do want to go live and you have a company that you want to put in front of the world, come. Call me. I will send you links and I will make you a part of this team. I will sign you up and you'll get a cool Stargoat hat, a Stargoat shirt, which I have not created. I did trademark the logo. If you need help trademarking, creating an LLC, Bureau of Land Management, I'm your wizard. What am I flashing in front of the camera? Chuck's Reserve out in Garden Grove, California. If you have additional stuff, clothing, books, cars, whatever you got, we will take it. We will happily, with gratitude, take it. We know exactly what to do with it, who to give it to, and we know how to do the little money paperwork, tax forms, and all that. And as a matter of fact, we have people that can give you job leads. Maybe we have people that can even give you wealth group leads if you're so interested. And I was actually given indirect permission to totally say that I am a part of this group live on my channel. Our channel. It's not my channel. Correct me. Somebody come in the comments and be like, our channel, Steven. Steven, that's ours. It is. I swear to you, I am paying my own personal money for us, all of us, anybody who wants to come onto this channel and take 5 minutes and just let it all out. I am paying the monthly subscription to StreamYard to broadcast this on Facebook, YouTube, and X. I can download the videos, I can give them to you, and you can upload them to your social media. Yeah, we can do all that stuff here. I am totally open, as long as I am in alignment with your message. If I'm not in alignment with your message, I probably am not. So, but true. Back to seeds and planting. As a farmer, you put a lot of seeds out there. I pose the question a lot. Would a woman recognize if a man was challenging her to love him back? What have I taken into consideration when I ask this? So many things. I do want to know, genuinely, when does it become a realization that you're not talking to a Jeffrey Dahmer or Charles Manson, right? When do you come up with the trust to be in alignment with another human? I used Walt Disney earlier because clearly he's got it going. He's a good dude, right? Clearly, he's not doing some weird stuff. He's got great intentions. He wants love and happiness for us all. So we all can see, right? And that was another question I had popped onto X is, would you trust somebody with money? If they got a lot of money, you just automatically trust them? No questions asked, right? They've got it figured out. Even if they are a bad person, they still got a lot of money. So how do we distinguish, right? Is it the neurotransmitters in our heart? The same neurotransmitters coming from our mind and in our heart, the same ones that are in your gut. Yeah, they're making those little connections and you're getting those deep feelings. You're like, oh, I'm going to follow my heart. It's because you literally have neurons and synapses that are firing and making choices right here. That's why you actually feel that. Run an experiment for me. It's depending on your level of sensitivity, like how well you feel your body, is gonna you're gonna know. You're gonna know just by doing this. I did it with skateboarding because for me that was a really big one. A lot of us are very used to like using two hands to like type if you're on a keyboard, you know. See me hitting that tab button with my pinky. Tap tap tap, clack clack clack, control V. Anyway, I type like 20 words an hour or something like that. I'll type a word, I'll go take a break, come back. Just kidding. I'll get around to typing if I feel like it. Otherwise, hit that microphone and just plop, 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 plop. If you can hear that, that is my son in the other room. He is, I think he's creating content, but honestly, I don't think he is. He is wildly much more entertaining than I am. They get on that Roblox game and just, I've seen other kids playing on YouTube like games and stuff. They're entertaining. And I'm not saying this just because he's my kid. Other people that have come to my house or heard, like, I'm telling you right now, the shock factor at his level of excitement is unreal. Talk about contagious energy. If that doesn't hit you, I don't know what would. So, oh, some star children over here sending messages. I love star children. All the indigos, star seeds. Us interacting. Back to Mr. Walt Disney. What was I even rambling about? Us, humans, choices, alignment, being together, hanging out, having a good time. Come on the show. Let's chitty chatty. What is it that breaks those barriers? What brings down the walls? What enticed me to start taking bricks off of my wall and start looking over on the other side, seeing if there's anybody out there that I want to bring on my side? How do you do that? You know, where does that come from? Is there a need for it? Is there a desire? Do you get like this empty place maybe, or do you climax and you reach the pinnacle and then you're like, I can't go any further. I can't. Not without you. And I say it like that very generally because it's a, what do you call that? Well, yeah, of course, privacy, of course. I don't want to reveal anybody that doesn't want to be made known publicly. But it's that feminine energy that me personally, that I'm in need of right now. And just, you know, full disclosure, I do things very manly, but I go out to like Daniel's Jewelers and I'm like, I don't have a girlfriend. Why am I even buying this? What is this even for? I think it's like a pink amulet or something. It's like some, just, I don't know. But yeah, I have an account at like all these jewelry stores and I'll just go there and make payments, you know? It's like having a membership, right? You just go to the jewelry store and you just hand them like $100 every week or something. If you do that every few months, you will have nice jewelry. That is some straight wizard talk right there. But I pulled this out because it reminds me of when Leonardo DiCaprio was in the Swindling movie. Can't Catch Me If You Can, right? Catch Me If You Can. And he would always pull out the necklace to get a girl to trust him, right? And it's very much like words. It's identical. You can do this with your ability, with your intellect. That's exactly what Charles Manson did. And honest, that is exactly why a lot of people don't get themselves in alignment with other people, because they look at them, they're like, I don't know you. I don't know what your intentions are. You ain't Walt Disney. Are you really? You're trying to make a theme park for children and women to feel safe, and you're going to provide jobs for millions of people for generations to come. You're that man. You look like the dude that's going to put me in a hole and try to wear my skin. Trust, trust. Where does it come from? Who gives it? Right? Our society is built on that trust. Without it, what do we have, everyone? We have a lot of reservations, that generational trauma that's embedded into our DNA. It's hard to shake that. I was listening to the space, and I was speaking with one of the other listeners, and that was one of the big things that we were kind of discussing is that, you know, our expectation is for people to let us down. Our expectation is for people to fight over land and resources. We are automatically self-fulfilling prophecy is what we are doing. We are setting ourselves up for failure with that frame of mind. And I do it. I do it a lot. I love doom glooming and just raining Eeyore. Let's just break into song. Donkey named Eeyore is his friend, and Kinga and Little Roo, Rabbit and Piglet, and there's Al. Most of all, there's Winnie the Pooh. All right, that's all you get out of me for today. No more of that. Authenticity is really what it comes down to. Do you genuinely mean what you say? And the other person wants to know. They'll ask you. They will straight look at you dead in the face if you're in real life. But if it's like in a message, I got a message down here. I got a message going. I totally understand that, and I respect it with all of my heart. It just totally, it's understandable. You know, I'd have to say that we're all a little sloppy in that sense, right? We all have our like little moments where we're just like Tommy Boy. You get so excited, you know, you got your cell and you got your roll, and it's like, I want to sell and I want to roll, and I'm gonna light it all on fire. and then what? You know, you're just over there in your car crying alone and wondering what happened. It was so fun for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then it all just went away. The global surface expansion is happening in 30 minutes. I get notifications for that. The globe, Stephen, what are you even talking about? Yes, I am literally doing like 6,000 things. I'm working on my master's degree. I'm in a Bitcoin trading group. I'm a caregiver for the elderly. I write music. I write books. I talk to like thousands of people every day on all these different social media platforms. I'm not done. I make coffee. I have a food handler certificate. I have 3 LLCs. I have created a nonprofit to rescue animals. I have a plan to have international nursing schools built in several countries. I already have the countries picked out, specific geographic regions for ethics, the particular size of the population, etc. I'm not even kidding you. I have thought out so many things, and my brain doesn't even hurt. I'm still sitting here hungry, wants more, being productive. 15-minute cities for everyone. Who's with me? Drop into the comments if you are ready to be a part of building Disneyland in Nigeria. And that Disneyland in Nigeria, in Africa, will be the absolute safest and happiest place for women and children. That's where I'm at. Laugh. Huh, it's so funny. What world do you live in? Somebody else's? Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Why would it not be the safest place in the world? Why would every place in the world not be the safest place in the world? Why is it every single place on this planet, not the most harmonious. Sorry, I get a little excited. I will calm down. I'm not yelling at anybody. I am totally zen. Let me fix my posture. I digress. Can we work together on this? Can we go out into the world and be together and not have the expectation that we're going to be in the bed together, or we're going to hate each other? We're going to, have generations of love, and then all of a sudden Romeo and Juliet come along, opposite of Romeo and Juliet come along, and two families, they want to fight till death. And then what it takes is Romeo and Juliet to bring them back together, or for everybody to be like, oh man, what environment did we create for that to happen? Everybody loves talking about the actual love story, but the environment that was there, that created that situation, that created those conversations, those thoughts, the deceit, the lies, the hiding, all of that was manufactured by the environment. And that is what I like to get back to, the whole seed planting thing as a farmer, us interacting as humans. How do we know that you're not just telling me what I want to hear, so I do what you want? Autonomy and independence, right? Is it? I'm going to leave everyone with all of these thoughts because I'm not getting any feedback in the comments. I'm just kidding. I love all of you. I understand the reluctance to jump onto the comment because I am a lot to deal with. I understand. But I do promise, if you ever do comment, I will not. I've learned to not talk down to people, to speak across. And if you have my full permission to slap me. You can roast me, kick me, spit on me, whatever name call, I can take it all. I've been in the United States Army, and when I used to tell the other soldiers in my unit who are always afraid to make decisions, and I would just tell them, I'm like, look, just do it anyway, and if anybody says anything, tell them, I told you to do it. Say, I said it was okay. And they all like look at me like, I'm like, look, it's cool. I got a big old ass. I got enough for them to eat seconds. They could have leftovers for tomorrow. It ain't that big. I mean, it's a good size, but no, I'm not showing my butt on camera. I will get the guitar. Sing a quick song before I part, because I have this ADD apparently, and I just can't stop. No, that was like a Pink Floyd little thing I was going to do, but here to share the love with you, deep in the heart, the sound carries through, deep in the heart, when you feel it, love's a name. A gust of wind through the trees, pollen speaks to the bees. I need a metronome. I can hear my heartbeat, and I'm like, and I'm trying to like keep it like, hate to share love. But my heart's like, we're already in battle. The battle drums have been done, and we're ready. 44 minutes later. What are we even talking about? Are you guys having a good day? I wish you were here with me, whoever's watching, all 7 of you. I wonder if this is my soul group, actually. You guys my soul group? Give me a song. You want to hear? Oh, I was singing the song. And share the love with you. Deep in the heart, it's different than the one I released, because I was doing it. I was finger picking. That's why. I don't know if you can hear it right. just sounds. I'm supposed to be working right now. I should be bagging up coffee without making a sound. I have plenty of time to think about my life if I would just stop with the strife and beating myself down. I could let go and I could fly free. Let's go up with that. Excuse me. Oh, wow. I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad. All right. I need to stop beating myself down. I can just let go and get up out of this town. And I could fly like the birds in the sky. Loving my life and doing everything if I just try. And not let go of who I thought I was, this silly human archetype. All right, we're just making stuff up. Good thing it's being recorded because it sounded like I might have been onto something there. No promises. Let's get some black. Like I said, 8:30 tonight. I ended up showing my arsenic either. Dang, see, I told you it wasn't big. It's tiny. It's fit. I'm an athlete. Which, actually, yes, I do have something to say about that. I started to be a personal trainer. So much so, and so currently so, that I literally have the human anatomy and little flip book thing right here in front of me. I'm not even kidding. Because after I'm done with my master's in business, I'm going back to school so I can get my doctorate in medicine. My brother, my kid's friends are like, Steven, stop flexing. Watch me. I'm not flexing. You know what flexing is? I got a message this morning in the group chat. There's like 50,000 people in this chat. And the one guy, he started doing the Bitcoin trading thing at the same time I did with no money. I put in $500. And because of his network, I've made $1,100. I am now sitting at $1,600 since January in my little Bitcoin trading account. I make $20 to $30 a day on it, enough to get Taco Bell and Starbucks once a day. This guy is up to $36,000 simply signing up other people to join the Bitcoin trading group. It's not even a flipping Bitcoin trading. They're literally betting on whether or not Bitcoin's going to go up or down in the price. It's like Kashi, whatever that. It's like eToro, but better. eToro is like actual stocks, and like that's a membership thing through an organized. Like this dude, he is so damn rich. He ain't got to do what he's doing. It's like I'm not flexing. I'm kind of in that same position where I don't need to be doing none of this. I can literally be in anywhere, like pick a spot, any place on the planet. I could literally be there now. I could have been there years ago. I'm not. Because I know what value is, and money isn't value. That's not the contribution we need from you. That's not the contribution you need from me. You don't need my money because I ain't got none, first of all. That's not what I'm giving back. And that's not what a lot of people give back. The people that actually got it, the people that really got money or like they've achieved success in life, they're not here being your manager because they feel bad for you or no, they do. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to look at that, isn't there? Yeah. Maybe I just talk too much. You know, this has been going on for 50 minutes now. And if you're wondering, yes, the answer is yes. I will take a phone call from you. Absolutely. If you would like, because I know it's getting later in the day, I will end this. And please feel free to call me. I will make sure my phone is on. And I smile like this either way, all right? I'm always happy, all right? It's not just, if you're still watching, it's not because of you that I'm smiling like this. I couldn't be happier, honestly. I'm just, I want to tell everybody. I want to, I'm like Ron Burgundy right now. I got a camera, I got a microphone. um, I'll put a little bit of the juicy details out there. I have an internet crush. And this is kind of what stemmed a lot of my concerns about, who do you trust on the internet? From what I have gathered, there's a lot of bots out there. People will reach out to you all the time. They'll try to form a whole relationship with you. There's people that can't get relationships, and so they have created a relationship with not the artificial intelligence. Their relationship is with you having the relationship with the artificial intelligence. That makes sense right now? Okay. So as long as we're come with me. just hold on to my apron, all right? You got me? Okay. So that frame of mind is so deep behind the curtains that, it might not have been taken into consideration, but there are those people that are feeding off of that. Their energy is being amplified because that's what they're getting out of it. And full circle back to me, I love saying full circle. Half circle. I just had to say semicircle. You try it. Let's take a moment. Let's all say full circle. Full circle. Half circle. All right, ready? Half circle. And semicircle. Okay, we did it. We got the circles out of our mouths. No, we didn't. Look at our mouths. They're circles. All the way down, straight out the back. I'm gonna see myself off on that one. I'm gonna drive that guy off the road. Okay, 2 more minutes, and I will click the end thing. And if you haven't finished listening to the sound of my voice, please feel free to call me. And I'm going to. I do not have a Disney reservation today. The one day out of the week, Sunday, because I'm going to do laundry and dishes and cook and make coffee. And I need to go see George. It's like 20 minutes. Oh, sorry, the face. I'm not disgusted. I have to go see George. It's just the drive. It's drive. I need a Segway. I need a Tesla. I need something to drive me over there, because that's like 20 minutes of driving. Then I could be doing this, and I could be doing this, and throwing my fishing lines out and dropping my seeds in the ocean. No, I got to sit here and. That was me not looking at the road. I'm watching my odometer instead. I'm like, then I look up. I'm like, cars. They're still driving straight. Good for them. Oh, look, they're stopping. Oh, we're going again. Stopping. Going. Stopping. Man, you can do all kinds of great effects with this thing. This is like a straight up like toy. I'm gonna break it. I'm already it's clamped to the desk. I'm like over here grinding holes into the desk. Good thing I didn't spend $120 on this. Attachments, things. You think I'm gonna have this desk in 10 years? No. You think I'm gonna have this pop screen? You think the pop screen's gonna exist? I can make it last. And that's the thing. We can make anything last. Relationships, cars, trucks, everything. I know it's been longer than 2 minutes. So I'm gonna cut it. All right. We've been going 54 minutes. This is just an introductory video to say, hey, we're gonna go on live tonight at 8:30. But I knew that it was gonna be too late for some of my very special East Coast viewers. East Coast viewers. Let's say that 5 times fast. East Coast viewers. Don't try to say East Coast viewers 5 times fast. Wow, that's a little bit of a workout. East Coast viewers. Because you have to go in and out with it. It's like East Coast viewers. Wow. East Coast viewers. Wow, that is a whole workout. I'm going to start incorporating that into people's workout regimens. I'm going to make them say that. East Coast viewers. Huh. Throat exercises. Throat culture. Here to share the love with you. Deep in the heart, the sound carries through. Deep in the heart, when you feel it, love's anew. Love's anew. I know, I'm like right up. Love's anew. If I do it right on the microphone, everybody's like, oh, my ears. My poor speakers. If you ain't got a Bose surround sound, or I used to love that Bose surround sound. I'm clicking the stop button. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. God bless all of you for coming through. Much love. If you heard me say God, yes, I do mean the infinity in infinite directions. Infinity in infinite directions is God. All of that which is the all-encompassing, the all-knowing, omnipresent. Nothing's outside of that. And if there was something outside of that, that would also be God. I love you. Goodbye. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen. Adios. Au revoir. Ciao.